Hello teacups, what's brewing? I've got a late old start on the React today because I wasn't intending on doing it, so apologies for that. I don't know exactly how long this is going to take to get up. I did watch her Ziggy Stardust and Spaghetti from Mars mukbang, which is what we're here today with, and then I saw her dinner. You would think seeing her eat it would put me off, but I had some ground beef already defrosted and I was trying to figure out something to do with it, and then this came up and I was like, alright, we're doing that. So I went to the grocery store. It's currently simmering in my kitchen, and if it turns out well, I'll put a picture of it somewhere here, I suppose. But I'm very much looking forward to it. It smells good. Before we start, eyes are the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. Lips are MAC Amplified Cream Formula, I believe, in the shade Smoked Almond. All right, let's just get straight into the React, shall we?
Hello, Foodie Beauties.
Hello. I'm gonna have to reduce that in post. That is so loud. So on her community tab, she said she was going to be dressing up as a persona of a musician and to guess, and these were the people who guessed correctly. She told them she would shout them out if they did. So she stuck to her word there. That intro for the Halloween was so loud. She's already got the full stuff, so why has she switched into the Halloween intro now? I'm not sure, but I'd appreciate her turning the volume down on it. So let's have a look. The thumbnail may well have spoiled what she's going to look like for you.
I'm going to try cooking a homemade spaghetti sauce in this Dutch oven. Now they want you to put it in the oven for 5 or 6 hours, so we'll...
That seems ridiculous. I'm sorry, if you're slow cooking like a lamb joint or a beef joint to make it fall apart to form like a ragu, then yes, 5-6 hours to slow cook a joint of meat, that makes sense. But for a basic like minced beef or minced lamb or whatever type of meat you're putting in, you do not need 5 or 6 hours. I have not used her recipe for mine, by the way.
See how it goes. Putting a bit of olive oil to just heat up the bottom of the Dutch oven here, and then I'm going to add my meat for cooking. This sauce has a mixture of meats, ground beef, and ground pork.
I wonder, I didn't check her listing, but did she link the recipe she used below her video? I'd like to check. She's gone to the trouble of putting the music in at the very least.
Alright, adding in the meat here. And I'm just gonna cook it until it's nice and brown. Now the ground beef is medium for fat content and ground pork is kind of fatty, so I'm gonna have to drain this beef and pork before adding anything else. So I'm just gonna sorry, I'm gonna try not to linger too long on the recipe. If she did a mixture of ground beef and pork, she didn't need to choose the beef for the fat. She could have just got lean ground beef and relied on the pork for the fat. If you're going to drain it off anyway, I don't see the point. Brown it, let all the fat get out of it. All the
the flavour, obviously.
Drain most of it. Yeah, so as you can see here, there's a lot of fat. Now there is a lot of flavor in that juice, but it's good to drain it.
When I cooked mine, I did the onion carrot mixture first. I hate celery in all its forms, you guys. I know that to have the base, you've got to have the celery, but I refuse to do it. But I cooked that down and browned it off, and the meat fat kind of absorbed into that, but mine wasn't as fatty as all this, so she probably did need to take some off.
If you're watching calories, but not just that, but it is very fatty and oily, so I'm going to drain most of it and then put the meat back in the pot. So now I'm going to add 1 large chopped yellow onion and about 5 cloves of garlic. I love garlic. You can add more, you can add less, you can omit the garlic, it's up to you.
I freaking love garlic. Sorry, I'm just full out reacting to this recipe now. I would have drained off maybe half the fat, taken the meat out, put the onions in, cooked it in the fat for the flavour, but without being too oily because you've taken some out, and then re-added the meat. If she's already cooked the meat now, the meat is gonna really be overcooked, I think. But then I suppose she's simmering it for how many hours? So what the hell do I know?
To you, but I'm gonna cook these in the meat until the onions and garlic are cooked down. So I'm gonna put the lid on and let those onions and garlic cook down. And in the meantime, I'm preheating my oven to 375 degrees. I'm going to now add the tomatoes and the spices and herbs. So I'm adding the whole can of tomatoes there, and what I'm doing here is just crushing them with my spoon. Be careful when bursting the tomatoes. You don't want to get it in your eye. So I'm just gonna crush those down.
Can I ask why she bothered putting whole tomatoes in if she had a can of crushed and was going to crush them anyway? Seems like a pointless endeavour.
So that they cook better. And then I'm going to add the can of crushed tomatoes. And I added the whole can of tomato paste as well. I ended up adding, I'd say, maybe 2 cups of water to this.
That's not going to need 5 hours.
A total of 2 hours. I can tell you that as I'm editing. I ended up cooking it for 2 hours total. It didn't need 5 or 6 hours.
Definitely not.
Alright, here the sauce is fresh out of the oven. You can see the bay leaves there.
I will say I would have changed around how it was prepared, maybe just because I've just followed a recipe for mine and I did it differently for more flavour in terms of browning things off and when she combined them, and I put the paste in before the tomatoes because then you can brown it off in the fat, and even if you don't slow cook it, that can give that really kind of deep slow cooked flavour. But the final result looks good. It looked good enough that I made it, so I'm not mad at it.
Hey guys, hey.
I have a few questions, okay? In terms of her look, I will say she's gone for it with the Thunderbolt. Let's give her her dues. I'm uncertain to a few different things. One, why she's chosen this particular wig. He does not have this hair in the picture. She does have a comparison shot in her thumbnail. I might insert it here if you need it. She's gone all out with the lightning bolt, but why the black bob? And why? I know I'm one to talk with wigs. Guys, I wear one. Congratulations. I've mentioned it before, but just in case you missed it and you're about to come for me in the comments, yes, I wear a wig. I don't understand why, given that her hair is not light brown or ginger, why at the very crown here does she have a patch that looks ginger? If it was her hair underneath, maybe it's the contrast with the really black wig. A black like that, especially in cheaper wigs, is very hard to wear because it doesn't have any depth to it really, so it looks a lot more false. But I'm not sure what's going on here. I don't know why she hasn't covered up that peak just up there. It would have been very easy to do even with a cheaper wig. I don't understand the choices. And in terms of doing a Ziggy Stardust dress up, I don't understand why she chose to do it. I understand it. Dressing up is fun. Guys, I'm here for it. Like, yeah, it's more interesting than her mukbang otherwise would have been. I just don't know what caused her to choose it right now for this. I don't know. I don't know why pasta. I don't know why for this mukbang. I don't know why Ziggy Stardust for any reason. But here we are. Maybe just because it was recognizable. Who knows?
Hey guys, hey.
Hey.
Well, guess who I am? I'll give you a hint. Ziggy played guitar, jamming good with Weird and Gilly. And this.
We love her singing. We stand her singing here on this channel. Let's not use singing as an example. The lightning bolt in your face, if people haven't got it from that, they're not going to get it.
Spiders from Mars. Played it left hand, but played it too far.
Proving she knows a song.
Became a special man. Then we were Ziggy's band. Where were the spiders? That's right, guys. Ziggy Stardust is me. And if you want your coldest water bottle, get it down below.
I don't.
Wearing my Bowie shirt.
It did, when you said down below, it did look like she was pointing at her crotch. I was like, stranger danger.
And I tried to do the best I could for makeup. But
there you go, she's put one in for you. Is it just because her camera reverses the image that she's got it on the wrong side? Did she not think of that when she put it on? But, I mean, she made a decent attempt right there, didn't she?
Yes. That's the best I could do. And I have some chow chow.
Why?
Because I love chow chow to eat.
This is the jar of pickles that was in the massive box she got that someone asked her about in the live. Why do you need chow chow with this meal? It does not go with it. it does not require this.
Eat it just like that. All right, I know this is a huge dish, but I'm not going to eat the whole thing, trust me. The rest is going to...
I do not trust you. Show me evidence of your past that instills this trust within me. Why would I trust you with that? I will say, I know it's a mukbang is always the answer, but why not have the big old pile of pasta in the serving dish and then just have a plate next to it or a bowl? Serve yourself a serving, be like, ooh, look at the enormous amount of food. Let's put it into a bowl. I mean, eating out of a serving dish is just unnecessary.
Go for me in the fridge or freezer or the freezer. Now this sauce, I only cooked it for 2 hours instead of 5 because my sauce was pretty thick to begin with.
Didn't need to cook it for 5.
So good.
And by eating out of the serving dish, all she does is ensure Pete can't eat it, you know, because she's double dipped constantly. Like, just serve yourself a bowl. Eat the whole thing if you really want to eat the whole thing, but eat it from a plate.
My mouth is watering. Beauty, beauty, bye. It looks hot too.
She's going to burn herself, but this is always an unpleasant. I really don't like it when... I don't watch many mukbangers, but when they eat spaghetti or noodles, I find it more uncomfortable than I do certain other foods.
Oh my god.
It's spaghetti. I'm sure it's delicious.
I have lip gloss. Literally, the best spaghetti sauce I have ever made.
I'm going to have to check what recipe she used.
The sugar really cuts the acidity. There's not that much sugar, but oh my god, the tomatoes.
You're not meant to, I mean, it does cut it. That's why you add it to the canned tomatoes because the canned tomatoes are frequently sour. But she was using the Italian ones and they're sweeter. That's why people say to use them. So I hope she tested those before she dumped the sugar in because it's not meant to make it sweet. It's meant to balance the overly sour nature of canned tomatoes from other countries.
Slow cooking with the mixed meats and oh my god, all those herbs I put in, the bay leaves. I don't think I put them on camera, but I did add 2 bay leaves.
Yeah, you did. I am already out of coffee. Guys, just drink some water so I don't die. I wouldn't get any water if I didn't do this during mukbangs.
And I have a lot. Pete's came and got his. So I just felt like dressing up. It's not really a themed video or anything.
That's what I don't understand the choice. Like, if you're just saying, okay, I felt like dressing up and this looked fun, okay, I'm actually ready to roll with it. All right, fair enough. But it seems like an odd choice. I wonder why she thought Ziggy.
Dressing up is part of Halloween, you know?
Yeah, it is. Were you just sick of people crying no Halloween content? So you were like, let's dress up. For my mukbang.
Now. I didn't have a Ziggy wig hairdo.
Yeah, because it's a short red.
Ziggy!
Could you imagine if she'd actually worn the Ziggy, how she would look in that? Oh, maybe that's why she didn't go for it. I mean, it's an odd choice of wig. Why not just keep your natural hair if you're not going to match up with it? But her in the short red, oh no, that would be terrible. I'm kind of like, okay, no, you made your choices. It's
yeah, no. Would you like some spaghetti with your parm cheese?
Why? Ah, and just with a spoon. It's a relish. Is it a relish? Is it a relish or a pickle? Either way, if it's that texture, it's meant to go on like a sandwich or something or a burger. Don't just eat it with a spoon.
I forgot.
Contrasting nicely the spaghetti sauce that you spent so much time making.
I didn't put them in the sauce. If it was just me, I would, but Pete's loves. I mean, Pete does not like spicy food. But I do. Oh, that chow chow's hot too. And they add a nice flavor.
The combination of flavors there. Pickle and spaghetti.
Come and get your love. So Ziggy Stardust. I think I became obsessed with Bowie and like my mom was a big influence for my music taste she had really good music taste when I was growing up.
I think there was just, I mean, her mum could have fantastic music taste, I'm not, who am I to say? But there was some pretty damn good music around that time, and so by default, like my dad used to listen to David Bowie a lot, and oh, I was about to tell you some personal information that I maybe don't want you tracking down, but yeah, okay, never mind.
Dio and Pink Floyd, Guns N' Roses, Belinda Carlisle, and
That is why I don't like spaghetti on, that's why I don't like spaghetti. It's the eye contact while she sucks the spaghetti up, it just makes me very uncomfortable.
And the first song, she used to love Space Oddity. This is ground control to Major Tom.
I'm not saying she couldn't love David Bowie, I'm saying I'm a little suspicious of the fact that the only song she's been able to name so far is one of his most famous. How big a fan are you?
And then there was Little China Girl.
Oh, keep naming them, go on. I don't know if any of you saw, I think it was the BBC, did a documentary on David Bowie not that long ago. It was good, like it really showed kind of the hard graft he put into his career and how he sort of very nearly didn't make it a lot of times. I can't remember if it's named after him or if it's got a different title. I'm gonna have to look it up. If I can remember to do it, I'll link it down in the description, or I'll put the name of it in the description if you want to look it up. But I remember watching it on TV last time I was home and really enjoying it.
Oh my god. The only thing I'm missing is garlic bread.
You've got enough carbs there, I think. You'll live.
Whew. Those chilies are hot. I love it. With this wig, I can also dress up as the girl from Mermaids. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. So from my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you.
I think there might be reasons she's invested in that as an idea. Seriously, what's going on with the part of her wig? I don't understand.
I'm kidding. Mermaids is one of my favorite movies. My mom and I used to watch that together.
It's a cute movie. I seem to remember
when I was
that.
younger. I'd love to have a reminiscent movie night with her, like just different movies we used to watch. Yeah, so that was the song I loved back then.
Mm-hmm.
The music I loved back then, and
oh, wait a minute. I can't really tell. Maybe it's actually the texture on whatever the paint or a skin or whatever it is around the part. Maybe that's it.
Ziggy Stardust, probably my favorite. One of my favorite songs is Aladdin Sane.
They like contact when she eats. Please don't. Oh, wipe your mouth, please.
And The Man Who Sold the World.
Lick it, same difference.
The Nirvana version. A lot of you probably know the Nirvana version, but Nirvana was covering David Bowie.
Chantal been Googling.
Who knows? Not me. He never lost control. You know, he has his popular songs like Gene Genie and Changes.
But Space Oddity was practically unknown. I'm being a bitch. I should have eaten before this.
And of course in the 80s, I know I use a lot of parm cheese.
Yeah, she does.
In the 80s, he was...
It's that kind of powdered parm as well. The shaky stuff.
in Labyrinth, which was one of my favorite movies growing
Labyrinth.
up. But that
I friggin' loved Labyrinth. I still do. Labyrinth is a weekend movie. It's the kind of thing that comes on like Sunday afternoon, and that's your Sunday afternoon. You're full up from your Sunday dinner, you go sort of half doze on the couch, and Labyrinth's on. Like, that's a lovely thing. The fireys in the Labyrinth used to freak me out though. I heard a rumour a little while ago, a few years back it's got to be, where that there was going to be a Labyrinth 2 and it never came to anything. I was really sad.
and The Dark Crystal. And
I mean, it's such a classic film, and on one hand I'm surprised they haven't tried to remake it, but on the other it is what it is, and I don't think you could recapture the kind of cult status of it anymore, so I don't know.
Gremlins.
Oh, There was some things online, I noticed people saying what he wasn't in Gremlins, he wasn't in the other things, and a lot of people were saying, you know, she thinks he was. I think she's just naming 80s movies she likes. That's all it is. She's kind of done the jump from, oh, Labyrinth, oh, other 80s movies were fantastic.
So he was the Goblin King.
Yeah, it was.
So they had a whole soundtrack for that.
Oh, I loved that movie. I remember my sister was, my older sister was really, really big on Star Trek Next Generation. And Gates McFadden, who played Beverly Crusher in Next Gen, did the choreography for Labyrinth. She did like the dance scene with Sarah and the Goblin King and all that. So it was a nice little interesting link for her.
Who can forget the bulge in his pants? But rest in peace, David Bowie.
Wow, that was quite the juxtaposition of facts there.
You know, gone before his time. He was such an awesome guy.
Was a surprise though, wasn't it? Like, I remember him dying and then just basically the year going to shit. And just like something came up online, a meme or just something on social media being like, is this it? Did he just know it was coming and now he's taking all the cool kids to start his new reality somewhere? That's basically how it felt the year was going right after he died.
I keep adjusting my wig because it slips because the clips are not in.
That's not the reason it's slipping. It's slipping because it's too big for your head. And I'm telling you this as a wig wearer because I have a shaved head under here because my hair is very patchy. It's easier to shave it than it is to try and keep it long. And that means I can't use clips in my wig because there's no hair to clip it into. Because a lot of wigs now, because they can be used for fashion, they have the clips to try and keep it in place. It's too small for her head. That's why it's slipping back. Or potentially, if it's not a big head issue, although I think she probably needs a large size wig rather than a standard, sometimes the shape of your head just doesn't allow for it to fix on properly. But I don't use clips and my hair doesn't do that.
And a lot of people were influenced by him. Like even Nirvana, which you wouldn't, it's a grunge band, but I mean, David Bowie, like the diversity in his music, like he could just play, I can't remember how many instruments he could play, but it was so many.
Seriously, the documentary was interesting. If I can find it, I'll link it. Please stop moaning.
I'm just gonna eat till I'm full. God knows when that will be.
Another excellent reason to put something on a plate. Because if you have a serving and you're still hungry, you can always get another serving. But if you have a serving, your plate is empty, and you're not hungry anymore, your brain sometimes will go, you know what, you're full, you don't need that second serving, you're satisfied. You never give it a chance because your brain is like, oh, let's see how much of this we can eat, and there's always more less, so there's always a reason to say, oh, let's have one more bite, when maybe physically you're already satisfied. Oh, and the pickles. Gross. I think one of the reasons she likes pickles so much isn't just the strong flavour, but it allows her to eat more. Because it's like when you have something vinegary to cut fatty meat, or if, like, I'm saying this as someone who's demolished a buffet in her time, when you are in sort of one of those all-you-can-eat restaurants and you'll go from savoury to sweet because it switches the flavour over in your mouth and it allows you to eat more and then you can switch back. And I feel like the pickles does that for her. It gives her like a break point and freshens up her not taste buds because taste buds are destroyed, but the switch allows her to fit more in because you're switching flavours and then going back.
The chow chow.
What a horrible combination with the pasta.
Pickled and spicy, my two favorite things.
But she put so much work into this, hours of cooking into this pasta sauce to destroy it with chow chow.
So tomorrow, I'm having my little party with Pete.
What?
Not sure if I'll do it live.
It is currently the 17th of October. Why is she doing a Halloween party with Pete's on the 18th? The whole point is that it's a Halloween party. Guys, I'm genuinely confused by that. Why? Your plans for Halloween night can now not happen because you can't go to that fort because everything's closed down. Why would you have the party tomorrow instead of waiting until the 31st and having it as content? Help me. Well, I suppose you don't need to help me. The answer is she doesn't know what else to do. So she's done this throughout Vlogtober, where she's got these ideas, and rather than spacing them out, rather than cutting them up, rather than planning even slightly, she's just like, oh no, I'll use this now. And then you get to when you needed it, so she'll need some kind of Halloween content Halloween night. She doesn't have it ready because she's already done it. Who has a Halloween party in the middle of the goddamn month? What are you doing?
How if I'll film? What do you guys want? What do you guys think?
I think you'll be ridiculous either way. Actually, no. Preferences. Please video. I'm so sick of reacting to your lives. It's so hard. If you're asking, please don't make me.
Actually, I'll probably film.
Mm-hmm. Please do.
Because for some reason, it's a hit or miss with YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Those chilies. The sauce, like, the meat melts in your mouth. It's so good.
Stop moaning. And slurping. And doing all the other unpleasant things you do when you eat.
Like, they don't want to monetize certain things. Who knows these days? But
What a horrible thing to eat.
it's usually always monetize my videos, but not my live streams. Like, some of them they will, but my last one they didn't monetize. I have a feeling it's because I was talking about my weight.
You fucking moron. Of course it wasn't. How many videos do you have talking about your weight, about binge eating disorder, about things that genuinely they're a little bit fuzzy on when it comes to monetizing, and you've had those monetized? Of course it wasn't because you talked about your weight. You called Gloria the C word. I think that's much more likely, and in live streams, you're much more likely to say the word fuck. It's very long. You can go in and say, please have a manual review, but you use the C word on air, like. But no, it's definitely your weight talk that took up a small portion of that live that has been monetized before, that has now got you demonetized, of course.
Another reason not to.
How convenient for you.
You know.
Yeah, definitely the weight talk and not calling someone the C word. Well, actually, guys, because people are going to come for me. She didn't call them the C word. She was quoting them of what they were saying to her. So the point is, she used the C word. Before people come for me, I have misrepresented that a little. I apologize.
I don't know what it is, but I think I'm just going to do video.
Yeah, please do. It's easier to do.
Maybe I'll start like a membership where I'll do live streams, exclusive live streams.
Hardcore. Everybody, please do not sign up for that membership. Because she is fundamentally lazy. She'll start it. She did a Patrona years ago. Patrona. Let's try that again. Anyway, she did a Patreon. I had to genuinely think what the word was then. Patrona. I'm a moron. Anyway, she did a Patreon a while back, and she did nothing on it. She had people sign up and she put no content in. She will not put content in for that. She is too lazy to do her own content now. She's not going to put the extra work in. And the fact that it's live streams would perhaps help, because she wouldn't have to really do much work other than turning on a camera. But I guarantee you, whatever she was charging, it would not be worth it.
Like a paid membership thing. I'm also thinking of starting an OnlyFans. It's not going to be like a sex one.
Well, then that's probably not the platform for you. I mean, that's pretty much what OnlyFans is for. Yeah, and I also love that she was like, no, I'm not doing an OnlyFans, but she'd mentioned it and mentioned it and mentioned it, and then magic. Oh God, I mean, I'd be there for the train wreck, but oh God, what a terrible idea.
It's going to be like, I want to order like a bunch of sexy plus size lingerie.
But definitely not sexual.
But I don't want like people to get a hold of my stuff.
You wouldn't be able to stop them. Of course they would.
Like, if you want to see my stuff, you have to pay. So I'm gonna like find out.
There's no way to stop
I'm gonna
that.
contact other like OnlyFans creators to see what their advice is.
There is no way to stop that. And also, God, I don't know which to hope for. On one hand, I'm just like, no, don't do it. But on the other hand, the troll in me is like, oh, the fun. But no, this would be a terrible, terrible idea. Please never do that.
I know there are going to be scumbags out there who try to leak my photos.
Oh my God, it won't be tried. They'll be on Kiwi Farms immediately.
So,
Oh my God. And also, the freeze frame, I didn't like it. Also, when you've seen her try to be sexy on this channel, it's been uncomfortable. Could you imagine an OnlyFans, you guys? No. Oh God. Please, for your own sake, I know we have a tempestuous relationship, but for your own sake, if the only thing you ever listen to me about is, please don't do this. This is a terrible idea. The intense eye contact with the pastry. Oh, sexy.
anyway. Whew. Spicy.
More pickles so she can fit more pasta in.
Goldie, come through. Goldie! Calling to Goldie. Ground control to Major Goldie.
Why does she keep using that one with the stained straw when she's got the blue one?
Yeah, I got a face painting kit, so now to do this makeup though, it wasn't as easy as just putting face paint. Like I had a picture of Ziggy beside me for like reference, but like I put like, excuse me, a red paint with blue paint. I'm not shaving my eyebrows. Like Ziggy has no eyebrows.
Oh, I hadn't actually noticed that. But I was gonna say, it's not as easy as just putting face paint on. That's kind of exactly what you did. You're saying it wasn't that easy, I had to look at a picture. Well, yeah. What point are you making here?
Probably to make look more alien-like or something, but...
What, are you broken? What's going on? Why is this still in the video?
Let me check my phone.
What's happening here? Why is this in the video?
I hear Pete's coughing. I want to make sure he's not choking.
Cut
Which
it
if he is, I'm sure he wouldn't text me.
Yeah, if you're that concerned, get off your ass and go check on him. If you're not that concerned, texting isn't going to help. At least call. What? Why is this in the video? Just to prove how considerate she is? While he's coughing. By the way, you're all sure you don't have the Rona, yeah? Now Pete's got a cough.
So, then I had to put like, you remember in my FabFitFun box, I got that like glitter, that shimmery stuff.
Oh, that
I
pigment?
like put it over top.
Are we going to be kind and say that's why it's so textured, or is that her actual forehead?
I found a use for it.
You did
And
find
I
a
put
use
like
for it, to be
blush
fair.
on like different areas of my face, and then I put like a whole highlighter all over it.
Oh, it's the highlighter making the shine. Because it's pretty textured here, honey. But that might be the highlighter on her forehead, to be fair.
This is like one of my favorite
Delicious.
meals. A homemade spaghetti sauce that's been simmering for hours, and cheesy garlic bread. I don't have any of that.
You do have an entire serving tray of pasta though, so you can do without the bread.
Something in my eye. Seriously, just want to rip my lashes off.
Oh, that would be the cherry on the cake. I mean, if you weren't choking yourself with the spaghetti, they might water less.
So it's just pizza night tomorrow.
This ridiculous
And a
mid-October party.
But, you know, it's still going to be fun.
It might be, but why are you doing it now?
I have some rum. I don't know what to do with it. Rum and Gatorade.
Ugh.
Because I don't have to drive anybody home, actually.
Drink the rum, have the Gatorade for tomorrow when you're hungover. I've solved it.
Whereas my original plans, I would have had to drive my friends home. So I wouldn't be able to drink. But now I can.
Do it. I mean, if we're going to be forced to watch it and 2 weeks early at that, I want to see her hammered. Bring the entertainment. Get hammered.
I'm not going to get drunk. But
Do it.
I can have some drinks.
Yes, you can. Once she gets started, she'll go. It's like when she takes THC. You take a little and suddenly a lot of things seem like a really good idea. I'm here for it. Both of them just getting sloshed.
The following week, things are going to pick up Halloween theme-wise because...
If for the following week, why are you doing the Halloween party now if you're starting your Halloween content next week? Or don't tell us, film it tomorrow if you really feel you must, and show it to us later if you've got some kind of time-sensitive reason why it has to be now. But you could just get off your ass and plan something else for tomorrow and do this at an appropriate time.
We have
More parmesan.
drive-through haunts, taking a little road trip myself, treating myself to a little road trip, and it'll be...
Treating herself to a little road trip. No, you don't treat yourself to a road trip. You treat yourself to a shit ton of food on a road trip. So, she did mention she was going to be going somewhere 3 or 4 hours away to do a haunt, but that will be cancelled now. So the real reason for going, she was using the excuse of the haunt, but she wanted to go to like Jollibee's and somewhere else, didn't she? So she's going on a food tour.
Surprise.
It's not going to be a surprise. It's going to be exactly what we expect.
Doing a haunt by myself as well while I'm on my road trip.
No. Things have been, I mean, if she's going to a different city, maybe, but should she be going to a different city to do a haunt right now? Really? Why are you cross-contaminating everything?
Starting to get full. So I'll just have like 1 or 2 more bites. Whew.
And that was the point I was making with the serving. She's starting to get full. If she had a plate full of this stuff, she'd have finished the plate and been like, no, I'm full enough.
Put the rest in the fridge. Probably
Look at
freezer
you,
because tomorrow we're
showing
going to be
restraint.
eating something I made for the party. I have a lot of candy.
I feel like that would be another reason to not serve this in a serving dish though. Like, have some of the sauce frozen. Like, I've made a big old pot, but I've got some empty sauce jars that I'm repurposing for this. So I'm gonna freeze the meat sauce and then I'm just gonna cook pasta fresh when I want it, or eat it with some bread or something instead of pasta. Or some veggies maybe, I don't know. But I'll keep that in the freezer because freezing already cooked pasta isn't gonna go well, I don't think, on the defrost.
I'm giving a lot away. Now, I was thinking of making little Halloween treat bags because I have these little treat bags and I have like, I didn't put them all together yet. So I was thinking of making up some treat bags with candy and putting like a $5 bill. I'm just like going to getting like $100 worth of $5 bills. And just making little treat bags and getting them out to like homeless people, you know.
I don't want to rag on her for charity work, yeah? So I think the idea of donating to homeless people is lovely. This form, how can I put this nicely? Because I shouldn't be like, you fucking get it! It's a pandemic. Maybe don't walk around to random homeless people giving out bags of stuff. Like, I think it's great that the money could go to a useful cause, but donate it. Donate it to a shelter, donate it to a homeless charity, donate it to something where it can come to good use, but maybe don't have contact with 20 random homeless people during a pandemic in order to prove how charitable you are. Just do what you were going to do anyway, eat the candy and give the money to somewhere useful.
No, because like they're asking for money, so give them some money and some treats. Like, they might appreciate having a treat late at night, you know? I think that's a good idea.
Let's go searching out 20 random homeless people. Perfect.
Just a thought.
It's not a bad thought in the sense of, hey, I'd like to help people who might be in need, but she's only mentioning it to mention it, to be like, oh, you're so charitable. It's all just virtue signaling. You could have just done this, you could have done it in a way that doesn't endanger the 20 people you're coming into contact with unnecessarily.
And then for Christmas, I'd love to give back to you guys.
Handle Vlogtober before we start looking at Christmas.
And do little gift giveaways or like money giveaways and stuff to help out during the season, like, you know, for families in need who have kids.
Again, charity is not a bad thing at all, but I feel like she's really trying to do some image rehabilitation. Like, has she gotten some terrible feedback about her striking channels? Is she like, no, look, I'm trying to help people. helping people is a wonderful thing. And to be honest, regardless of your motivations and what you're trying to achieve with it, money will be helpful to people. But, oh, she's trying quite hard.
Get some toys or gift certificates or something.
I mean, assuming this materializes.
So yeah. So I'm gonna have a little bit more. Now, I hope you guys are liking my Vlogtober. I know a lot of you are.
She's not comfortable. Let's put some more pasta in my face while I think. I'm not enjoying our moment, Chantal.
Most of you do. Basically, I think I hyped it up a bit too much. For me, Vlogtober just means like doing a video every single day. And because I'm a mukbang channel, it's gonna be a lot of mukbangs.
That's not really what you promised. In terms of hyping it up, you mentioned it a couple of times, but you said you were going to do fall and Halloween related content throughout the month of October. That's what Vlogtober is. And you did set that expectation. Whether the expectation was too high or not, you set a very simple expectation that you didn't live up to, really. Yes, you're uploading every day, but you did set expectations you haven't lived up to.
There are some spots where I'm just like, I'm just gonna wing it, whatever.
They're not spots.
And people
They're
are
the
like,
majority
what was
of
the
your
4
month.
days of planning for? It's not like...
Would these be the people that you definitely don't watch? Is that who those people are? The community you don't engage with, because if you don't like, don't watch, and you don't want to hear their complaints, and you don't have time with your busy full life. Those people complaining that you took 4 days off to plan nothing.
It was just planning. Like I did say,
you did no planning.
To give myself a break, because I'm gonna be
a break from mukbangs. Seriously?
uploading every single day, and I know that's gonna be rough on me. And then also,
How?
yes, to continue to plan, and I did plan some things during that time. I don't know like, what high production you can expect in 4 days.
I expect basic planning. I expect you basically to know what video and to get some kind. In 4 days, I don't expect the world. I don't expect you to learn at all any special video editing. I expect you to sit down with a calendar and plan out what you're going to do every day. And if you're feeling extra saucy, to then look at that and schedule things to say, okay, I want this video to go up on the 7th. I'm going to film it on the 3rd or the 4th. That's what you could have done in those 4 days. Alternatively, if you then found, okay, I've got spots where I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, you could have used the meals you ate in those 4 days to film. I've already gone into this. You could have filmed in 4 days 5 or 6 recipe videos that could have filled out those spots that are empty, and you didn't. You didn't do any of that.
But also, it's to get things done in my life that I know like that I would be a problem to do, and do Vlogtober at the same time.
Such as, because so far there's been some exceptions, but the majority of Vlogtober has not been you filling your day with new things. It's been you doing what you always do, which is film yourself eating. You would eat whether you were on camera or not. So it just means you've turned your camera on. And yes, there's a certain amount of editing involved. For example, in that cooking segment, she put some music in, she cut into things. That takes a little bit longer, it does. But you're not doing anything revolutionary. And the amount of lives you've had, like you haven't even edited those. You've just driven around with the camera on. You know? I do know. Do you know?
As a self-employed person, there's a lot of like you don't realize.
Oh,
like you think it's just
off.
like getting dressed up, turning on the camera, and eating.
No, fuck off.
But there's a lot of like, as a self-employed person, like the whole it's like there's bookkeeping you have to do, and
I'm sure she's doing all of that. You guys, I'm sure. She's never mentioned it before. She's somehow managed to deal with it before. And bookkeeping, yes, she's self-employed, so that affects how you file your taxes. But that wouldn't be an issue right now. I mean, things could work differently in Canada. I will say that I'm not an expert in the Canadian tax system. I did actually mean to look it up before I started recording this. Apologies. But if you're self-employed, that becomes an issue in tax season, surely. And you either get an accountant or you do it yourself. But she has to save receipts, I guess, if she's registered as a business, because I'm guessing she would have to be registered as a business in Canada in order to claim business expenses. Is she registered as a business? Because I've got a feeling she's not. So what's she trying to say here? Like, how much effort it takes? Yeah, you should be keeping records because you should be declaring your income, but that shouldn't be a new thing for you.
For like business expenses.
Yeah? Are you registered as a business?
You know?
Is this the first time you've done this in this many years? I think you're digging yourself a hole here, sweetheart, and I don't just mean the grave. Like, what have you done in the last not the last 4 days, in those 4 days that you haven't been doing for years? It's not tax season. There was no reason for it suddenly to be a thing. I think that's bullshit. It has the distinct odor of bullshit.
Anything you do for your video technically is a business expense.
Yes, but you are not a business.
Travel, costumes.
Yes, all true. We have said this to you many times. But you're not a business. You're not registered as a business. You might declare your taxes as a self-employed person. I certainly hope you do. This is your income. But none of that explains why those particular 4 days would suddenly be so busy. You should have been doing this for 3-4 years now. How long has she been on YouTube?
So there's just personal life things. I had
Okay, well that's not the same thing.
some appointments I wanted to get out of the way.
Okay. That's not the same thing as dealing with your business. Oh. Any Canadian who knows about sort of how the taxes work in terms of declaring, in terms of if she has to be a business in Canada to do this and claim those expenses, I'd be very interested in what she's claiming is happening here. Please and thank you.
Appointments, stuff like that, you know?
I think she's heard someone, seen somebody talk about it online, and she's been like, yes, that's a valid thing. And now she's trying to throw it at us, the online people that, of course, she doesn't actually listen to. It's like you were just having one more bite.
But everyone lives a different life. Just because somebody doesn't, have 3 brats running around.
Excuse me? Be very careful where you're
and
going.
A huge house and a 9-to-5 job.
Oh, we feeling a little bit defensive about our life choices, sweetheart. It doesn't sound like you're enjoying that. I'm all for, I do not live a traditional life. Fuck the timetable society thinks you should be on, but you're sounding very defensive there, Chantal.
Doesn't mean they don't have things to do.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't have things to do, but it doesn't mean people don't.
Last bite for you guys.
Not for me, thank you. Why does she say for you guys? I'm not the one putting it in my face. Oh, that was gross. That's the kind of sound you can look forward to on her OnlyFans. Same stuff, just sitting in her underwear while she does it.
That hit the spot.
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's big enough to have hit a whole number of spots.
Now I can go on stage. Yeah, right. Could you imagine, going on stage and dancing around and acting all weird?
Could you imagine being able to walk to a stage and up the steps without dying?
On a full belly of spaghetti?
Still with the relish.
On chow chow?
Oh, I couldn't imagine doing anything with a full belly of a combination of spaghetti and chow chow. I couldn't imagine sitting here on camera doing that.
And I can't wait.
Can't wait.
To do more.
To do
I don't know if there's
work.
going to be a vlogmas because...
Love how she's already planning ahead, because in her head she's already written off Vlogtober. And she, you know what she's like. She's always a planner, not a doer. So she's now moved on to Vlogmas.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know.
I mean,
we'll see how it goes.
If you did know at this point, it would be no guarantee.
Anyway, I'll probably do Christmas themed videos. I don't know if I'll do a video every single day, but... Ooh.
Ugh, what was that?
I did put a good dent in this.
Yeah, you did.
It was so good. Oh my god.
Calm
It
down.
was so good.
That's her
I ate
OnlyFans
really
content
fast.
right there.
I love crushed chilies. Added a good heat to it. My nose is itchy. My whole face is itchy. I'm gonna go wash this off. Yeah, I got like a cute face paint set from Amazon.
Could you imagine if this cheap face paint set set off a reaction and she had like a rash in the shape of that lightning bolt? Like if she can feel it itching, that's a definite possibility.
And comes with brushes, comes with glitter too, and like different things. So I do want to do like a serial killer last meal, and I was gonna paint my face like John Wayne Gacy.
The fact that she's laughing about this is appalling to me. You guys, I mentioned this in the last video, but it was very long. She mentioned doing this, and some people said maybe she'll paint her face. And I was sitting there, she can't possibly be that crass, and she can't possibly be that tone deaf and just that inconsiderate. But here she is laughing about the idea. The families of those victims still exist today, you horrible person. Do not do that. It is so utterly inconsiderate to the families of those victims. What is wrong with you? That is my entire view on that. Like you say, okay, I'm gonna do last meals of prisoners. That's one thing. But to sit there and dress up as this fucktard, oh my God, to sit there with a painted face about it. What is wrong with her that she would consider that an appropriate thing to do?
So we'll see.
No, do not do that. What is wrong with you?
We'll see what happens. I still don't know what I want to be for like Halloween Day. I don't even know what I'm doing for Halloween Day.
Well,
Probably
you could try the Halloween party. Maybe.
won't be here, so.
No, why would you be at home when things are locked down for a pandemic? Of course you won't be here. You'll be out licking people.
I don't know if you guys have suggestions for
Much
pizza
more
night, since
appropriate.
on Saturday pizza will be off.
Stay
I'm not
home.
sure what we can do.
Stay home.
I'd love to go somewhere haunted, but
Go onto YouTube. Go onto the computer. Google Halloween activities. Follow the goddamn list. Do not go driving out to multiple cities and multiple places, exposing yourself to everybody.
we'll see. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really, really appreciate it.
I doubt every life choice I've ever made.
I really do love you guys. I have some, I have some dedicated haters, that's for sure. But
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you're about to get a ton more if you end up doing that clown makeup mukbang that you're planning. So enjoy and look forward to that.
I also have some amazing followers. You
Sycophants.
guys are just awesome, and you see me for who I truly am.
We see you for who you truly are. Be very, very careful there. That's not what you want. You do not want that clear vision.
You don't believe any crap that goes around. You don't listen to negativity, and you just support me, and
And that's why
you
she
just
loves
have
you.
fun with my channel. That's all I.
Because that's what a healthy relationship is. Nothing but absolute positivity and support.
I don't want anyone to have. So, I really appreciate you guys, and I love you guys. And like I said, Christmas season, I'd love to give back a bit to you guys. So, all right. So I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, you guys, please, please, please don't let her do that mukbang. Please. Like, do the mukbang if you want to do the mukbang in terms of the last meal. Like, compare a few last meals. Do a series if you want to. Do not sit there dressed up as the person. There is a line between slightly morbid interest and completely inappropriate. And the line will be a dot to you. What are you doing? So that's where we are. My spaghetti smells amazing right now, so I'm going to go check on it and give it a stir. Oh, guys, just when you think she can't get worse. I will talk to you again soon. Have a lovely night. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye, my teacups.